what was your main reason for actually wanting to have kids? Because both of our kids weren't accidents.
No.
Yeah, both of our kids were planned.
Somewhat, but yeah. we kind of planned, gave up, and then it happened.
Okay, gotcha. It's
So-
still like you wanted one.
I wanted a kid, and she wanted one. So
and you
it
just
was
okay.
both.
So walk me through that.
both
Like
naturally.
what was that? What was the biggest reason to actually?
So I'll even go a little bit further, because
Okay.
if anybody that knew me, even when I was a young adult or teenager, or even like while I was still married, I didn't want kids. Welcome back to Now We're Dads.
NWD
Oh, this is episode 20.
20 guys, 20.
You're here with Steven, the honorable OKC fan right now. Let's go. I want to see you guys pull it out. Little Midwest area. Actually, I don't know if they're central or whatever, but they're close enough. We'll take them.
Close. Indiana's actually closer. My name's
Oh.
Nazareth, and I know Indiana beat the Cavs, and a lot of people don't want them to win. But right now we're recording this before Game 6.
Yes, because Knicks just took the last two.
Yeah. So we're recording this before Game 6.
You don't want to see an 0-3 comeback?
That'd be dope.
Okay.
That'd be dope. My number one team that's still left, other than the three teams, would be Knicks. But if Knicks don't make it, I'd rather Indiana win than OKC at this point.
Oh, really?
I'm not a Halliburton hater.
Oh, no, I'm a hater. When you beat my team, I instantly want you to lose. Like,
Here's the thing, though.
if I can't win, you can't win.
I sincerely don't even believe that they just like beat us. I feel like we lost ourselves.
Well, that's how the
Injuries
Indiana is.
and stuff.
That's-
Yeah,
they survive by injuries.
but they are also just an incredibly consistent team.
They are very consistent.
So I'm not hating on them. I don't see why Halliburton gets so much hate.
It's his dad. Ever since his dad did that on the court with Embiid, he had this like and laugh at him, like, but your son was playing, not you.
But also, Embiid isn't really a widely liked player either. So
I
who
know.
cares?
I want to say it was Embiid, but either way, it's like, hey, tell your dads to.
I saw some guys
sit
commenting saying that he's the new corniest player in the league.
Oh no, that's still Scotty Barnes or Karl Anthony Towns, but he's top 5.
Cat is not one of the corniest. He's one of the
Cat's-
funniest.
Oh, he's corny though.
No. That's Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum's also corny.
Yes, he's
Cat's
the
funny,
Cat
but
is hilarious,
But he doesn't know he's funny. He's just naturally funny because
so
he's
funny.
corny.
He's so funny, and he's so authentic. That's why I don't think.
No. You ever hear his fake voice? He's like, hey, yeah, but then he'll be like this on stream.
But that's his whole thing, though.
It is his thing.
Anyways, before we get into a long rant about basketball, like we like to do,
Yep. I do want OKC to win, get there first.
Sure.
Indiana's obviously could get there first.
I'm happy. I'd be happy with Indiana.
I want pretty much any of the teams.
New York is still down 2-3, and sorry, my family's from New York, so like my second team after Cleveland has always been the Knicks,
Okay.
and so I would be happy if Brunson fucking led this team.
Honestly, if I was going off of my childhood, I think I would be rooting for the Pacers. But because they beat the Cavs and I'm a hater, I can't go with
for
it.
sure.
Because I loved Reggie Miller, I loved Jermaine O'Neal, I loved Ron Artest, I love Steve
Okay,
Jackson.
historically, yeah.
Like historically, I love that.
Just
team.
not right now.
Just not right now. You hurt me.
Okay.
I
Maybe
can't-
next year you can get
I
it, but
can't-
this year I don't want you to win it.
I'm the opposite of Kevin Durant. I can't lose and then join the team after. Like no, that's not happening. I ain't never been a snake.
Okay, on to our next subject, guys. Today, quick, before we go into our stories, we have some kid stories for you guys today, but I wanted to give a brief warning about next week's episode, guys. Every episode we've had so far have been dads or interviews of dads.
Yep.
Right? Well, and I know I had my mom on, but that was more of like a side episode.
Yep.
And it was a test that kind of worked out pretty well, and I decided to post it.
Yep.
But episode 21 is going to be our first official full-length interview with a mom.
A mom episode. Groundbreaking.
Yes, guys.
Groundbreaking.
Now We're Dads is finally branching out.
We're branching out to all different genders now, it looks like. No.
Understand that, yes, we are dads, and this show's about parenting, and we can only speak from our experiences, but we 100% understand that this is a two-man job. And, I mean, sometimes it takes a village, but there is a whole other party.
It started with 2.
Started with 2.
It's never just started with 1.
Yeah, started with 2, and we're going to get that other side starting next week. So please join us for episode 21. We'll reveal who it is next week, guys.
And I know who it is. She's awesome. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear her story.
Sure.
I know how much she loves her kids. Loves her kids. And now her grandkids. So
2 grandkids she's got.
Yep. So I know I'm excited for it myself because I wasn't here, so
right.
I get to see it from your guys' point of view.
Awesome.
And I'm excited. I really am.
I mean, he'll see a sneak peek before.
Yeah, obviously. I'm not no peasant like you guys. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Before we alienate our audience more, let's move on. You said you had a story for me today.
Yes. So I got my 2 oldest kids into baseball this year.
Okay.
Baseball was not my first sport, but it was the sport that I naturally was born for. Like basketball, I started off really rough, got better and better over years.
Mm-hmm.
Football, same thing. Soccer, same thing. Baseball, I walked onto a diamond and was already knowing how to play.
Nice.
So it was cool. I got them gear. Things that I grew up pretty not well off, so a lot of things that I started off with was just like cleats, baseball gloves, baseball pants, like just the basic.
Mm-hmm.
They got like 4 bats, baseball gloves.
You had
cleats.
a bat?
Oh,
or borrowed?
I didn't even have a bat. I showed up and used the team, whoever brought bats. Okay. I had a bat, but it wasn't legal for my league. It was too small. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it worked out. I was still really good. So, so I got them their gear, and I decided to go play practice with them, because we've never really, I practiced with them before, but never where I knew that they were actually joining a league. So it was more, hey, let's just have fun today. So now I'm teaching them how to run in cleats, teaching them how to hit and all that, and I'm nervous to teach them how to hit, because if there's one thing that I was never good at, and that maybe 1 or 2 seasons I was good at, is hitting the ball.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a pitcher.
For some reason, I just pegged you for a good hitter.
Nope, I'm a good pitcher.
Okay.
Really good pitcher. Great on the field. You don't want me sitting on your bench. But then you also don't want me in the lineup.
Were you bad or just below average?
I was below average. I was bad if you're considering actually hitting the ball. But because I was short and I didn't swing until I had 2 strikes, I walked often.
hey, that is a role on the team.
Oh, dude, you best believe it. That bat wouldn't leave my shoulder until 2 strikes, and then they got the 2 strikes, and
if they needed a runner on base, they're like, put Steven out.
Yep.
And then we'll get our DH afterwards.
And then once I'm on the field, I'm stealing the bases all the way to third.
You're fast.
Oh yeah, I was get there. So all I had to do was get on base, and I was fine. But so I'm.
There was still a role for you at least.
100%, especially pitching. There's no way they're taking me out the lineup for pitching wise. So I'm playing with them, and I'm like, okay, I'm teaching them how to throw, take a crow hop throw. I'm teaching them throw at my glove, throw it hard. But most important, even if it's not thrown hard, make sure you're throwing it to me.
Right.
You don't want errors. I said, make sure your gloves are on the ground when it's hit, because the last thing I have had teammates where they'll pick up the glove and it rolls underneath their legs, and then we hate that kid. Because it's frustrating, because it's like, dude, just knock it down, do something.
Yeah.
So, and I've obviously had those plays too. We've all had errors, but I'm teaching them glove on the ground, attack the ball.
But if you don't make this mistake, then
people are going to love you. If they know every time it gets hit to you that it's going to stop at you. You might not make the play. It might not be out, but it's stopping right there.
Yeah.
I guarantee your coach is going to be like, I love this kid.
Yes, it's important.
So I'm teaching them all this, and then we decide to go to the batting cage at the end, and I'm nervous because I'm like, I don't know how to teach them how to swing. I know how to get in stance. I know how to make some contact. But you know what? I'm going to let them figure out their stance. I said, all I'm going to teach them is the basic things. Mm-hmm. Get comfortable in the box. Get the bat off your shoulder. Okay. And keep your elbow high. I was like, at least so you can cut at it, whatever.
At the right angle.
Yep.
For sure.
I was like, that's it. I don't care how else you do. Try to keep your feet planted if you want, but however you want to hit it, hit it. So then I'm throwing lofters, and they're hitting them. And I was like, oh, okay.
Sorry.
He's
All right, keep going.
That's how I want them to attack the baseball. But I'm throwing lofters, and they're hitting them.
Okay.
Like, ding, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm
You
like,
said you're at a batting cage?
I'm at a batting
Wouldn't
cage.
they have like the auto pitcher or?
No, it's me behind the
Behind the net.
L-shaped thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we're in a netting. I don't know what they call that, a pitching protector, because that's what it's used for. It's just you're meant to throw the ball from the one L, and then so they can hit it. And they were using that net. They were hitting it right back at me. I'm like, you're trying to kill me.
Okay.
So
right.
I'm throwing lofters, and they're hitting them, and I'm like, okay. But I've noticed that their bat swing is faster than kids that I like, my nephews or like where I've played with before.
Okay.
I'm like, oh my gosh, they kind of got this.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm rifling some of them in there, like not full speed, but I'm definitely throwing some gas behind it.
Okay.
They're still bing,
still hitting them,
bing, or fouling it off or making contact. I'll throw them out the zone.
Yeah,
still make
and
contact.
this is starting, right?
Yeah,
so if they're starting here,
dude, and when I'm saying they're foul tipping them, when I'm throwing them out the zone, like they're just ding, and I'm like, how did they make contact with that one? Like it's impressive.
Okay.
I'm excited for them. Like I really am. Because
how old now? You said two of them that you're taking, right?
So they're 12 and 10.
12 and 10.
So obviously they're older. So I don't know the competition that they're going to be facing. But
they have little to no experience.
Yeah, no, they're almost zero. Like that's how it is. They've never played any organized sports. So this is the first time they're playing any type of organized sports and team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, it is impressive to see how good they are at hitting. Okay. And then Saya is good in the air, good with the grounders. Made a really good play where I accidentally I barreled it, threw it up to myself and barreled it, and it rifled right at him, and he caught it. I said, and then he celebrated, and I was like, good play, but don't celebrate in the game. Act like you've been there. I said, great play. I'm excited for you. We're all excited.
Yeah. Get the ball back.
Just get the ball back and don't celebrate. Act like you've been there before.
That's a nice moment, though.
Yeah, it was.
That's
it
fun.
was. And so he's good at everything, but he doesn't know how to crow hop. So he throws like lollipops.
Crow hop?
Yeah, that's like a little, almost like a jump step into a throw.
Oh, okay. I've seen it.
Like to get more on it.
Yep. And I think I naturally do it when I play just by.
I naturally do it too.
I've seen it once, and I'm like.
Or I turn my hip viciously too. So like I can get it there a couple ways, but I need him to learn the crow hop, and he's struggling. But everything else around that. Oh, and he can't run. He runs flat-footed. So like he'll hit the ground, and I'm like, dude, you're supposed to just use the top of your cleats and kick off. And he's like, okay. And then he'll run flat-footed. But it's like, you know what? If you hit into the outfield, you don't have to run fast. So,
and again, stuff that can be taught later on.
Stuff that can be taught, and they're looking really good. So I'm super excited. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Super excited seeing them, and I can't wait to see what their team.
Have you been to a little league game or like any other sports that they've played? Have you been to a sports game for them yet?
They've never played any sports.
So this is your first time.
Yes.
And I know how much sports meant to you growing up.
Yes. And they liked it. They've liked it their whole life. They just like they'll play basketball, but they didn't want to get into the game of it. They liked it.
And here's you pushing them like, no, you're gonna love playing organized sports.
What they noticed though is like when I turn on a game, they liked watching the game. They like getting excited, like I get excited. So it's like they're like, oh, because both their dads like sports. They're not super fanatics, but they like sports. They're starting to fall in love with sports now
because of
who I am.
Yeah,
because I'm excited. I get real hype.
Yeah,
they love that when we play basketball. I trash talk. Like they like that. Like there's banner between it. It's not just shooting hoops. There's things to it.
Let's enjoy this.
I make sure that they know, like, hey, they lost. You lost.
Yeah,
you guys need to get better. I tell them all the time because and then. Like when they just started, they run up to me like, we're playing baseball this year, da da da. And I'm like, awesome. And they're like, can you imagine if we win a game? I said, you want to win just one? I said, just one? I was like, you want to just win one? And they looked at me. They're like, it's like, you want to win them all.
Yeah.
We're going into this season wanting to go undefeated.
Well, I think what's going to happen is they're going to need a really bad loss.
Oh, yeah,
to show them and be like, see the other team gloating,
and
your team kind of sulking off,
Oh.
And then you'd be like, do you want to be back here?
Yeah.
We'll hit the gym tomorrow.
Yep. Hit the gym.
We'll hit the field tomorrow.
We'll hit the field. We'll throw some baseballs around because losing sucks.
Yeah.
Like, do you see that kid eating ice cream now? Ice cream's for winners.
Ice cream's for winners.
Oh, man.
I was going to take you out to ice cream, but
that 6-5 loss. If you could have scored the 6th run and maybe got the 7th.
Would you actually not give him ice cream?
Oh no, I would. Yeah, I'm a sucker.
Yeah.
But in my head, and when I could talk to them, I'm gonna be the hardest guy in the world. Nah, I'm a sucker with them.
Ice creams for winners.
Ice creams are for winners. You know what? You might get chips at home now. But no, I'm excited. I really am.
For sure.
Their excitement makes me even more excited because to see them excited. And they're playing with one of their cousins, so there's a little 3 people.
Nice.
It starts with 3, and then all of a sudden you'll look.
When they have the other kids around, especially their cousin too, and
that's what I'm saying.
Brother and stuff, it's just gonna motivate them more.
Yeah, and they won't. I'm pretty sure they won't click up because at some point they're gonna be like, "Oh, this kid's cool. Oh, this kid's cool." Like when I played, I went knowing one player on the team. Mm-hmm. By the end of the year, we were all spending time with each other over each other's houses and all that. Well, I knew 2 kids. I knew Dr. Proctor and J Square. We had nicknames for some reason. Not me.
Dr. Proctor.
Dr. Proctor.
Okay.
He was our second baseman, and then there's J Square, which is my best friend Jacob, because there was two Jacobs. Don't know why he was squared, but
he arrived second to practice.
Yeah.
What's your name, Jacob? What's your name, Jacob?
Square.
We got to do something about this.
Yeah. And we've not all of us had nicknames. Most of us were pretty normal, but the 2 that I knew, I called them by their first names.
Okay.
But then when I got into the field, I was like,
no, it's not how it works.
Yeah.
For sure. You got to give it the culture.
It's like, oh, okay, he's now J Square. I've been calling him Jacob my whole life.
You didn't tell me your name was J Square.
Yeah. And we had a good time, though. That was a great team. And then the next year, we added another friend of ours, who's Andrew. And that's the kid I went with whitewater raft or zip lining with. And when I tell you,
in episode 18, guys, call back.
He joined the team. He was a catcher, and like we're best friends. So legitimately,
pitcher and catcher. Got it.
And there's rare that my first year without him, I would call off like, no, I'm not throwing that pitch. No, I'm not throwing that pitch. No, I'm not throwing that pitch. Yes, I want that pitch. When he was my catcher, it was like we were in sync. Like I'd be like, I want to throw a cutter. He'd be like, boom, and I'd be like, oh.
He already knew.
Yeah. Little off story. One of the most important games. Bases are loaded. Mm-hmm. We were only up by 2. The ball is hit directly to me. We need 1 out, and the smart play would be to turn, throw to the first baseman, John,
because it kills the play.
Automatic, and it's over.
Yeah.
And he's the best player on our team. I get the ball. Bases are loaded, so everyone's running. I turn to first. I turn to home, and I throw it to Andrew. Yeah. Andrew's not the greatest at catching, like at this time. Like he's good at catching here. When he's standing up for some reason, he gets over.
It's a different skill sets.
Yeah, he gets overexcited and it like hits the.
Oh, okay, so he like over opens his hand, it bounces off his palm a bit
or something.
I've made that mistake.
It's always just a little overexcited. I turn to him and I said, Andrew, and he goes, oh, and I throw it. I throw it hard too, and it goes boom, and he makes the final play, and I run and I tackle him, and we had a good celebration moment, and I hope that they have that. Like I hope they have that moment.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm excited too.
That's why they have to win more than 1 game.
Yeah, more than 1. You can't. When he said win, he said, "Can you imagine if we win a game?" I said, "You want to win 1?" Exactly how I said it. Yeah. But that's awesome. Shout out to my 2 oldest. They're awesome.
For sure. Okay, so I also have a story.
Okay.
Yeah, so I obviously everyone who watches this might pick up on the fact that I'm ADHD, hard to keep focused a lot of times.
Same.
Yeah. Anyone who knows me knows this for sure. But I have a problem with pacing a lot. Like when I was growing up, my mom would be talking to me, and as she's talking, I would be walking back and forth listening to her. And she would get frustrated at me saying, "Can you stop? You're making me dizzy." Like just be screaming at me. And so she's like forcing me to, yeah, I'm listening. and it just doesn't feel natural.
Yeah. You didn't retain anything she said after that because it's hard to listen.
Yeah, so I need to be moving around a lot. That's why my hands are moving
or
and stuff.
Fidgeting or something.
We always have something though. I have a ring on.
I
just
spin
for
the
that
ring
reason.
more than forever.
Yeah.
Like,
so at home, if I'm just by myself, if I ever find myself by myself, there's a lot of times where like I don't even realize it's happening. I'll just start pacing back and forth in my house with no music on, no TV, just quiet. And if you put a camera on, it looks like a zombie NPC. Just like literally back and forth. And this can go on for about a good half hour, 40 minutes sometimes.
Well, you're thinking.
I'm like in thought. I'm
like
deep in thought, but I don't realize how long it's going on for. And I'm like, oh my God, I've lost so much time. Like I'll pause a show, go get a drink of water, and then just start pacing. And I'm like, I'm still not done with that episode.
Oh, I know how that is.
So that happens all the time. I realized the other day when I had my daughter with me, me and her were chilling throughout the day. We played games with each other, took her to the playland. Like we were out and about. And so this was like near the end of our day where we're kind of just chilling. She's finally watching her shows. Like I finally give her some screen time. I was like feeding myself and just relaxing, right? And I start pacing while she was there. And so I'm walking from the kitchen to the living room, to the kitchen, to the living room, just back and forth and back and forth. Not even realizing I'm doing it until I look down and my daughter's doing the exact same thing as what I'm doing. Like we're just walking past each other back and forth. And then I stop and I look at her and I'm like, oh my God, you are my daughter.
Yeah.
Like to a T.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy how much genetics.
Yeah, you didn't teach her. You didn't try to show her anything.
No.
It just naturally,
just
she's doing
hit.
what you're naturally doing.
And she's not like running. Sometimes she's running because kids will run back and forth.
But no, I know what
she was casually just walking.
Thinking.
A little 2-year-old.
Thinking, yep.
And I'm looking down, I'm like, we're doing the same thing.
That's awesome though.
It was really cool to see, but yeah, there's no denying she's mine. Like,
oh man, I had a similar story of hearing a story when I was young, and then what Steven did not that long ago. Like I want to say yesterday, we used to watch a TV show where the person had a voice box where it was like, and they would talk like this, like the normal like voice box thing.
Okay,
This is not me making fun of them because this is young me not knowing.
Oh, so,
like this is me. People studying, because I guess I'm assuming the reason I'm such a good
this was a person nowadays, or a show.
This was a show.
A show.
And we're at Walmart. I'm with my brother and my dad, and I'm really little, really little. But
Okay.
I've watched it on television. I've watched it, and all that. And a person walks into Walmart and goes up to get a fishing license, where we're getting a fishing license as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, hey, can I get a fishing license? And he had a talk box.
Right.
My eyes light up. I turned to my dad. I said, Dad, do you see it? Me. And I hold it up and I go, me.
And you mimic him.
I mimic him. Because I'm assuming why I'm such a good people personality is because I studied. It's
like as an adult, that's a jerk thing to
that's
do.
That's a jerk thing. But as a child, it's like
so innocent. It's just
so my dad was so embarrassed. It was like, oh no, because he said when he saw the guy talk, he knew instantly I was gonna do something. So he goes to stop me, and I'm already doing it. So he's like, ignore it. So he's trying to talk to the dude. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, well, you should teach your kid not to do that. And he's like, I will. I'm sorry.
How old were you?
I was like 4 or 5. Like I was
shut up. Nah, 4 or 5-year-old.
But I can see insecurities. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So I remember my dad trying to stop me, and I kind of go, me. And my brother's running down the other aisle laughing.
And you're still doing it.
I'm still doing it. because he's not acknowledging me. So because he's not acknowledging me, I'm constantly doing it. Like, I'm like, come on. So
this is funny, Dad.
Dude, and my dad.
Me.
My dad still tells that story and laughs to this day.
Oh, that's priceless.
Yesterday at Target.
Yeah.
We've been watching a lot of special needs, and like we love. I'll be honest with you, love the show Love on the Spectrum. Love it. Absolutely love that show.
Yeah.
Like I grow attachment with these people, and I'm like, let's go, Connor. Like I love it.
Okay.
But
I've seen a few episodes.
there's a couple of special needs where they're louder. They're just louder people. And they're little outbursts or all that. I'm assuming he's picking that up. Well, we're at Target. And we're in the waiting line to get checked out. So special needs dude comes in with his mom, I'm assuming.
Sure.
And they run into their cousin, and the cousins are trying to talk to him, and he's loud. He's like, okay. Like he's having a little outburst. Nothing weird to me. Nothing weird to anybody.
Yeah, not pressed.
And
this is at Target?
Yeah, Target. Okay. So I'm not even thinking anything of it. Then all of a sudden I hear Steven go, ah!
Steven. Little Steven.
Dude,
stop.
He started mimicking it. So I'm like, oh no.
You can't do that. Stop.
Stop. I'm like, he's just a baby. I'm just like, he's a baby. There's no way he's doing it.
You're right, because he is an actual baby.
Yeah. I'm like, there's no way he's doing it because
he's not even 2 yet.
No. So I'm like, there's no way he's doing it because of that.
He's not being malicious. He sees it on TV. He sees it here. He's mimicking.
But what made me laugh was I didn't think he was mimicking. I just thought it was coincidence that he's getting loud with this kid.
Oh.
But then the kid gets quiet and he gets quiet. But then the kid would get loud and he would respond loud. So now I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's so like you can't get mad.
You can't get mad, but I'm definitely embarrassed and I don't know what to do. And so the worst part though is we're scanning and I'm trying to get out of here quick now. So now now it's supermarket sweep. It's beep 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 beep, and I'm trying to.
I don't want to be seen. They're gonna get me on camera with this.
Oh, dude, I'm trying to get out of there quick.
Yeah.
And then the dude walks by and goes and he's having a moment.
He's having his own moment.
His own moment.
Of course.
And Steven goes, "Hey, yo."
No,
because that's the new phrase. That's the new phrase he says now.
He says, "Hey, yo."
Because my 12-year-old says, "Hey, yo," all the time. So when the kid yelled and he looked at Steven good, "Hey, yo." Loud, super loud. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I couldn't get the groceries in the cart fast enough. I was in full.
I would have left the groceries. I would have left the groceries.
You know how hard it was not to laugh? I'm looking at Shatai and she's cracking. Like she's laughing herself. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I need help. I need to get out of here.
Man.
I was crying.
Wow.
What's the chances of him using yo?
Yo, that's
perfect timing. Like the dude said, and he looked at him and he said, "Hey, yo." I was like, oh my God.
Jesus, man. Oh my God. That's the funniest thing.
If I can catch him saying, "Hey, yo," I'll show you.
God.
Because I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's so
his new
funny.
That's his new thing. So like and he uses it right often. It's scary. It's scary. Like they'll do something like they'll fight with each other.
Yeah.
The two oldest, and Steve will come in and be like, "Hey, yo," and I'm like, you don't even know what that means, but you're using it right.
You're using it right.
Yeah.
It's like actually pretty close,
dude. Anytime there's anything sus, anything he's on. Hey, yo, and I'm like, I don't understand how he knows it.
At 2 years, not even 2 years old.
Not 2 years old. And
I would have died, man.
Oh, dude, I
would have died.
We got in the car, and me and Shatai were laughing so hard that we just kept on doing it. We kept on going, "Hey, yo." And she was like, "You need to call your dad and tell him, like, this is." And right when I got to my car, like before, when he said, "Hey, yo," and I'm trying to hold my laugh, I look at my Shatai, my future wife, and I go, "That's my child." Because she, no joke, probably 5 days before, she just heard my dad tell the story about me mimicking the dude. So I looked at, I was like, "That's my child." She goes, "I was thinking the same thing." I was like, my DNA runs thick in that boy.
All right. Well, guys, this has been a great episode.
Great episode.
But you know what? Just thinking now, this is episode 20.
Episode 20.
Episode 10 was a big deal for us.
Yeah.
Now we're doubling it.
That.
Yeah, to be honest, it's starting to get to numbers that like
we didn't we wanted to do this and we thought we'd be consistent with it, but the 20 is actually kind of like,
and views are going up.
Yep.
People are excited to come on the show.
Yeah.
I'm getting asked for people to come on the show.
That's awesome.
So it's going places.
Our community's growing. Like
we
it really
are. We
is.
actually have a few people who are like consistently checking in on us,
Yep.
talking to us, and
Anytime I walk into your workplace, they're like, "Hey, Hollywood!" Like,
yeah.
so it's cool. It's cool that they know about it and they're also excited. So it's cool.
We talk about the future a lot and what we're moving on to next. But let's bring it back to the past and let's talk about what really started all of this. Not starting the podcast, but having kids.
Yep.
And figure out what was your main reason for actually wanting to have kids. Because both of our kids weren't accidents.
No.
Yeah, both of our kids were planned.
Somewhat, but yeah. we kind of planned, gave up, and then it happened.
Okay, gotcha. It's
So-
still like you wanted one.
I wanted a kid, and she wanted one. So
and you
it
just
was
okay.
both.
So walk me through that.
both
Like
naturally.
what was that? What was the biggest reason to actually?
So I'll even go a little bit further because
Sure.
if anybody that knew me, even when I was a young adult or teenager, or even like while I was still married, I didn't want kids.
Yeah.
I didn't want kids whatsoever
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I've known
Yeah.
you before.
because a lot of my arguments with my ex-wife was about kids, like because I didn't want them, she did, and I said from day one I didn't want them. But I got with Shatai, and Shatai had 4 kids, so it is cool and all that. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need kids now because I got my 4.
Sure.
But as they're growing, and as I see her mothering, and as I see the day-to-day operations and all that, I noticed how much I missed of their life. And I'm not saying that by having a baby it was going to replace it, but it was things that I was longing for. It's like, wait, I wasn't there for any of their first birthdays.
Yeah.
Like it was and then I love these kids more than I love myself. Like I love these kids. Like it's a bond that I have with them that I could never, like I couldn't imagine not having them.
Yeah.
So we've been together for about only a year now, but a lot of things move quickly because of circumstances. Like she moved in after only like 3 months, 4 months. We had a lot of things that just happened, and I was like, hey, let's just try this. And let's just try this got us to another day, got us to another week, got us to another month, got us to now a year. You know what I mean? So now we're together for a year, and I'm like, we had this serious talk. It's like, hey, I looked at her. I said, I know you have 4. I know you don't. I know you really didn't want one, but
She didn't want one before, because like
she had 4,
right.
and she was like, no, I do want one. I just didn't want one at that time because I didn't think of another man in my life. Blah blah blah.
Sure.
And she's like, but with you, I do want one.
Yeah.
And I said,
Perspectives change now that you're in a different scenario,
yeah, I
a
went
different
from
life.
none to 4 to now I want 5.
Yeah.
So I tell her, and we have this serious talk, and we decide, yeah, this is what we're going to go with. We try. I make the joke all the time, like, oh, my swimmers ain't swimming, because that's how I deal with anything.
They're not little Miguel Phelps.
Yeah, they're not Miguel Phelps. They're St. Mary's of the Blind. And her eggs were very juicy, and I guess I had a whole bunch of scrubs. But I'm telling you, so it was like she was just getting off birth control. There's a lot of things that could have been it.
Sure. So how long were you trying for?
Like 3-4 months.
Wow.
Like we were trying, and then when it did, we kept on doing pregnancy test after pregnancy test after pregnancy test, and it was just negative or shadow lines over like baby, and we were getting our hopes up, and then finally after a while we were like, you know what, it's probably not going to happen, because
So you started to accept it.
yeah, we started accepting
I know the
it.
type of person you are. You're the type that if something's not in the cards for you,
It's
you're
like-
not. Yeah, you just you learn to accept things.
I was like, oh, it's all right.
It sucks for a little bit. You're like, all right. Well, what do we do now?
I kept on saying, at least have 4. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I might miss this point from their lives, but I get to see all of them after this.
Right.
So I'm cool. Like I keep talking myself into it, and I'm like, okay, it is what it is.
Is what it is.
But we're obviously not going to re-protect ourselves. We're not going to be like, well,
Yeah.
if I can't have kids anyway, this is fun.
We can do.
So
Yeah.
So I want to say another couple months go by after not trying, and we're at it, and this is the miracle moment. I have to say that I think I said this story once maybe, but we have New Year's party, blah blah blah. And then shortly after that, we decided to go to Applebee's. I order something. She orders something. I didn't tell her what to choose. No. My food comes out. Her food comes out. She wants my food. So I'm like, okay, we'll just switch. She's like, no, I don't want to switch. You ordered that. Da, da, da. She starts crying and breaking down. And I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So I was like, it's all right. Da, da, da. So we eat. And she's like, can you stop at home? I'm like, yeah. So we only have one pregnancy test at home. We didn't, it was the one we were going to try. And then we were like, it's not happening. Let's just put this away. Well, she goes in the house and she's like, I think I might be pregnant because why did I just have emotional breakdown like that?
Yeah, she knows her body.
Yep. So she's like, that's weird to cry like that.
Yeah.
And so and then she's eating things that I've never seen her eat before. Like she's not a big fan of pickles. I seen her eating pickles. She's not a big. She hates salt, vinegar.
So you're putting these things together, but like not really in real time.
Yeah, it was just
it's like afterwards. You're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense.
Well, no, even at the time, I'm like, are you pregnant? I'll joke around because it's like things I've never seen.
Yeah, and those are the jokes you're making at the time.
They're legitimate jokes because I honestly didn't think she was. I just thought, like, oh, her taste changed and this, like, you know what I mean? I was just making fun of it.
Right.
Because that's how I deal with everything. I just make fun of it until I laugh.
Sure.
And then she does it. I'm in the car. Less than 5 minutes, it pops up. She's pregnant.
Clear.
Yeah, and she runs to she walks to the car first. Then she kind of like jogs. And I'm like, why is she getting so fat? And then she's about to get in the passenger seat. She said, "Look." And then I saw it, but it didn't comprehend because I'm not thinking she's doing this. And then she tosses it at me.
I remember that. Back in episode 1, we talked about that. Yeah.
And I grab it, run around the car, slip, fall. It was middle of winter, so. But that's what made me want to have a kid was seeing her kids, seeing how she mothered, and I was like, I would love her to be the mother of my child.
Right.
Seeing her kids and being like, man, I didn't get to see Mana's first. I didn't get to see Nessie's first, Avon's first. Like I didn't get to see any of theirs.
Right. So
there's gaps that I'm like I'm never going to replace them. Like they're their own people. They had their own experience. But I got to live through a moment like that now. I get to see how Steven was on his first birthday. So now I can be like, oh, I can see how Nessie kind of was. I can see how Josiah kind of was.
Mm-hmm.
I can see, I could connect it now. And actually having Steven makes me love the kids even more. Because it's like, oh, I wish I was there for this, but you know what? I'm going to live it up. So that's what got me into it.
Right.
I know your situation's a little different.
Yeah. So I was obviously with my partner for much longer.
Yep. Much longer.
Yeah, we spent a good 7.5 years together.
That's impressive.
Yeah, overall through it all. But no, we've always agreed that we wanted kids. We just disagreed about timelines. You know, she wanted them a little bit earlier. I wanted them a little bit later originally. And naturally, we kind of found a time in the middle that kind of worked out age-wise. But it was never really about age for me. It was more just about stability, just like a lot of people.
Finances.
Yeah,
making sure you're stable together, stable living
together. Relationship good and stuff. So we started to hit a stride in our life where, you know, we got our house.
Things were getting easy.
Yeah, exactly. Like paid off cars, buying a house, making good payments on our student loans. And so money was less of an issue. But then also just relationship wise, it seemed like we were starting to hit a point where we're ironing out a lot of problems.
Wow.
You know, I was starting a business at the time. I was flipping video games, which you see behind me what it kind of led to. And I was like finding this new passion in my life. So I was like personally just very happy. She had a lot of stuff going on in her life that was her very happy, and we were just arguing less and less and less and less because we were starting to hit a stride.
Oh yeah,
it felt really good.
You guys were on a hit streak.
So it just seemed like we're like, why? What else is there to do? We've done so much, so let's just do this, right? And it just so happened that like the very first time was successful.
Yeah,
very like
you're like yeah, we get to try. What? It's over.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first time I learned that women actually track men when they're having sex.
Not all.
No, but quite a bit more than I thought.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
There's a lot. That's a big part of their community.
I did not know that at all. I was like, yeah, my app told me to check. I'm like, what app?
And why does your app know this? No.
What are you telling? Who are you telling this app our business?
Yeah. Did you tell him we're trying? And then she marked like, yes, I marked it right here
Exactly.
on the 23rd. Like,
So, but yeah, apparently she was like a day late, and her app's like, "Girl, you might want to check." And it was
and she's like, no way. No,
Yeah,
just kidding.
it was.
She's not a girly girl. She was like, word, all right.
Maybe I was down. I was in the basement playing video games that day, and she called me up and cried.
Was she called? She didn't do it in
yelled.
person?
You called like as in yelled up.
Oh, yeah. She's like,
Yes! Yeah.
and you're like, why the heck?
I was mid game, so I'm like, gotta go, and then got off the game because I hear a certain level of yelling. I'm like, that seems a bit too serious to ignore.
Yeah, it's like
I gotta go.
It's out of serious or something's happening.
Yeah, you know what?
I gotta check this.
You know what screams you can ignore.
Yeah, you got. Oh, this one's a checkout.
This is a guy's thing. We gauge it out, and we're like, I don't have to
Yeah.
really respond to that one.
Oh yeah, when it's Steven, it's like, okay, maybe it could wait. But when it's Steve, it's like, she
might be dying.
on fire.
Yeah, something's on fire. I need to go.
Every time I hear that yell, it legit is something on
Something's
fire.
on fire. I have to handle this.
Yep, and I'll put it out with my hand or something.
So that was my thought. This was a fire moment. I have to go handle this. And no, it's when she found out she was pregnant.
And you cried.
Oh, I cried. So
I said,
I didn't cry.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
You didn't cry right away.
Yeah, at that moment, I didn't cry.
Yeah.
I just immediately gave her a huge hug.
Yep.
Said, we're going to do this. She called her sister over. They cried. And then we went to my mom's birthday. And if you guys want to hear that story, back on episode 1.
Yeah.
Where I go over the full story of how I got to tell my mom and her mom in the same day.
That's awesome.
Without actually having to spoil it, because they were going to be in the same place at the same time.
So it was a perfect moment.
Yeah,
that's a perfect. That's a Hallmark moment.
Yeah,
yeah,
genuinely. So that's when what really made me cry was when finally telling my mom, who has been begging for grandchildren for her birthday or
on a birthday party.
It was at her birthday. I think the birthday was on her exact birthday.
Okay, I didn't know if
the party was actually on her exact birthday too. And she's told me stories later on in life where her and my stepdad have talked about being grandparents on like their first date.
That's awesome.
Like back when they were like 30.
Yeah, she's like, I have 2 kids. I can't wait to be a grandmother.
Yeah, he's got 2 kids. She's got 2 kids. And they talked about being grandparents because they both love their grandparents. And so you can imagine the type of pressure I was on to deliver the first grandkid.
Golly, man.
And so when I came home,
you were like LeBron. Like from high school, you're the chosen one.
I was finally. This is 2016 LeBron.
You get the
I'm bringing home the chip.
I'm bringing Cleveland.
There was a parade.
This one's for you. But I know how that is. Like,
so finally, again, that moment, that's where it felt like I had this realization of like so much of what my mom went through to like what I went through to just like everything led up to this moment for this little girl. And at the time, we don't know it's a girl, of course, but yeah. And so it's just
this baby, and then it's a girl, which is probably the best thing you could have gave your mom because she only had boys. So it's
she only had boys, and I never really wanted anything. I just wanted a healthy baby. I was pretty much whatever.
I know. I knew you at this time, obviously, so I know because every time I asked you, I was like, "Which one do you want?" You're like, "Healthy baby." I don't care what.
I actually didn't care, and you know what? I'm loving my daughter.
I said secretly I want a girl, and then I got Steven.
Yeah, little Steven.
Yeah.
Hey yo. But yeah, so it was a big moment, and
what's the hardest you cried during the whole pregnancy? I'm telling you right now, the only time I
that day
cried was there was a couple moments but there was 2 moments where I had tears come down. Obviously, when he got born and then taken away, all that NICU stuff,
which we'll talk about in a future episode. Yeah. You got a pretty tragic story.
Yeah, pretty. It was rough for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then when I first heard his heartbeat, hearing
yeah, that machine.
Oh, it was like, because I was excited already, but then hearing it's like, and then it's like, wait, that's his heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'm holding it, but I feel it. I felt it come down. I was like, oh, didn't grab that one in time.
No, it was that day finding out because we were with family.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so my mom told me, she's like, you got to call your titis. You got to call And so I did the whole tour. You know how annoying it is, like call this person on every other thing. But this time, I was so happy. I called everyone in my
It
phone.
was like a parade at this point. It was
Yeah, literally. I tell you, the parade was for real. I called everyone. Like, yo, I'm about to be a dad, Tito. I was crying for like hours.
Good for you, Nazzy. Tell your mom I said happy birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
So, and I didn't even get to tell the rest of the party. My mom ran out.
Oh, yeah. It's her moment now. It's her moment. Calm it down.
I told her, a great moment, and then she ran out. I'm going to be a grandma. Not I'm going to be a dad.
Hey, it was her moment. It was her moment.
Congratulations, Mom.
Yeah, you got to the point where it was your moment. Once you handed the news to her,
it's her moment
It's
now.
her moment now. She was already started the party. Now she's the beaming light.
So yeah, that was it just felt like everything was right. We were just so happy. So many things were going right in our life, and so it felt like this was the time to do it. And things obviously changed, but actually,
the one thing you wouldn't change, no matter what.
I don't regret a thing, man.
Yep.
I've made so many mistakes in my life, so many crazy decisions, things that like probably look back and be like, should I have done that? But every time I'm like, of course, because it led me to
this situation. Which is where our goal is still.
Yeah.
So I feel you.
For sure.
So with that being said, though, that wraps it up for episode 20.
I'm Nazareth.
I'm Steven.
And now we're dads.